The First Coast's most accurate forecast from the First Coast News Weather Team, certified by Weather Rate, sponsored by AC Designs.
Good afternoon, everybody, and happy Friday to you. It is a beautiful day out there, and check it out, the Hart Bridge ready for the Gate River Run this weekend in all its glory. The Green Monster, Tim Deegan, Chief Meteorologist Tim Deegan, he's going to be taking it on tomorrow morning. Same for myself and Anthony Austin, along with thousands of our other friends across the First Coast and really across the country who are coming to Jacksonville to run the race this weekend. So it's going to be a perfect morning for it tomorrow. And outside right now, I mean, picture perfect as well. Barely any clouds out there. It's dry, so it feels comfortable. Temperature-wise, not too hot, not too cold either for most folks. Pretty much if you live from I-95 west, I mean, it's, like I said, picture perfect. Low to mid-70s. You got 72 down at NAS Jackson Orange Park, 74 in Jacksonville. You got 74 in Brunswick and in Waycross as well. Now, you look at out at the coastline and the beaches, a little bit cooler there since we do have a little bit of a sea breeze rolling on in. So it's not real strong, but it is keeping those temperatures kind of locked into the 60s there out at the beaches. So might need a long sleeve shirt if you're planning on taking a walk out on the beach here this afternoon with your this evening with your sweetheart maybe. So a little bit cooler out there, but as I mentioned, it's a very dry air. The dew points are quite low, so not humid at all. Feels fantastic. Now, looking at the broader picture, no clouds overhead of us right now. There is a fairly weak disturbance or just kind of a cluster of some clouds and a few light showers making their way out of the western Gulf. That will traverse over the Gulf here throughout the remainder of tonight, so we will see some clouds roll in after sunset and during the overnight period. And so because of that will keep our temperatures from dipping down nearly as far as we perhaps expected earlier in the week. We thought Saturday morning some inland areas could maybe flirt with the upper 30s. I'm not really anticipating that now. So our overnight low is going to be down into the mid 40s here, at least for the Jacksonville area. And we'll start the morning off with some clouds, and we'll get into the weekend forecast here. Well, I guess I do have it set up here, so we'll take it through. Here's what the models are showing. So as I said, after sunset, really even after midnight, some of those high clouds roll on in. No rain associated with them, so you won't have any wet roadways out there for any of the runners for the Gate River Run tomorrow morning. Or if you just have some sort of, breakfast or brunch plans tomorrow, a nice cool start, temperatures in the mid-50s or upper 50s by about 8:30 to 9 a.m. And then mostly sunny skies continuing through the afternoon. You'll have a very weak westerly breeze, anywhere from about 5 to 10 miles per hour. So a weak west wind, temperatures in the mid to even upper 70s in a few isolated spots. So really, it's going to just be a fabulous start to your weekend out there across the First Coast. Now, this is something my guy Andy behind the screen and I, we just put this together really like 5 minutes ago. Close to my heart because I've been dealing with the seasonal allergies for like 3 weeks now. My eyes get kind of like swollen and closed shut. My nose runs a lot. So if you're also someone who deals with seasonal allergies, I'm right there with you. I feel you. The tree pollen is very, very high right now. Juniper and cedar pollen quite high. I believe there were a couple others. I can't remember off the top of my head. But the tree pollen is very, very high. The grass pollen also at that moderate level, primarily because we got a little bit of some rain last week, and now that the temperatures are warming up and that sunshine, things are starting to bloom, things are starting to grow again. So because of that, all of those little pores and pollen granulars are out there in the air. So the pollen count, unfortunately, is going to continue to stay high, not only today, but even through the weekend and even into early next week, because over the next 5 days, we're really not expecting all that much rain. You check out Saturday, Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, almost nothing expected with regards to rain totals here across the First Coast. You're really going to have to wait until next Wednesday to see not only some rain, but potentially some thunderstorms as well. We'll talk about the potential severe weather risk with that, but also the rain often dampens down some of the pollen in the air. You'll notice after it rains, like sidewalks and blacktops and things like that, or your car even kind of has a film on it. That's primarily due to a lot of the pollen in the air. So we'll get into all the rain chances here in a little bit, but let's bring you back for your weekend. Morning temperatures tomorrow, mid-40s if you live further west out I-10 through McClenny and Baker County, out towards Lake City, Gainesville even. Upper 40s to lower 50s for folks in and along that I-95 corridor and out toward the beaches. And then here it is, your Gate River Run forecast tomorrow morning. Race starts at 8 a.m. for nearly all the runners, right around about that 50-degree mark. If you have a little bit of a slower pace, like myself and Anthony probably will tomorrow, by the time you're getting towards that 90-minute window, and even the 2-hour mark by about 10 a.m., things are going to start to heat up pretty quickly, out of the upper 50s into the low 60s, and then mid 60s to upper 60s by lunchtime. And then, as I said earlier, highs in the mid 70s tomorrow afternoon. So a cool start, but a warm afternoon. Sunday will be a little bit cooler. We're going to have a very weak cold front roll on in. High pressure is going to be off to our north and northeast, so a northerly or northeasterly wind will come in. That'll cool us off into the mid 60s on Sunday, but still a beautiful day out there, whether you're just rolling around, in your backyard downtown here somewhere doing something, or maybe you're heading out to Clay County for the Strawberry Festival down there at the Clay County Fairgrounds. It's going to be a beautiful weekend for it, whether you go tomorrow on Sunday. So go check it out. I know they've got a lot of good stuff down there. I was out there for the Barbecue and Bacon Festival. When's that? I guess at the end of January. It's a good time down there in Clay County. So I urge you to go out, check it out, have some fun there this weekend if you don't have other plans. Next week, kind of the same story. Monday, we'll have some high clouds, still kind of breezy. Temperatures in the upper 60s there. And it's really not going to start to change until we look ahead to Tuesday and Wednesday. So high pressure that we'll have off to our north through the weekend and even on Monday, that begins to slide off to the northeast and then eventually eastward. And that's going to change our wind direction out of the northeast on Monday to more so out of the southeast come Tuesday. So that's going to start to feed in not only some warmer air, but also some low-level moisture. So our dew point's going to start to rise a little bit. It'll start to feel just a tad bit more humid. But you look out across the central part of the country, Oklahoma, Texas, the Mississippi River Valley, there was going to be a very strong dip in the jet stream. There's going to be a pretty potent trough and shortwave energy that spins up out there. That is going to fly its way across the country, likely bringing storms to the Mississippi River Valley and eventually up across the northeast, but also that associated cold front with it on the tail end of that system, that will reach our doorstep by really late Wednesday afternoon and then continuing through the evening hours of next Wednesday. Not only bringing some rain, but potentially some thunderstorms, some of which could be on the strong to severe side. Now, some of this is dictated by how much moisture is available. Highest moisture content's really going to be across Louisiana, Mississippi, and the Arklatex region. So right there along the Mississippi River, a surge of moisture, dew points in the upper 60s, close to 70 degrees there on Tuesday, and a lot of wind shear as well. So there is the potential for them to see widespread severe weather. For us, I'm thinking kind of moderate moisture, low to mid 60s. So it is going to feel a little bit muggier, but we're not going to have a tropical-like air mass. And I think the lack of the moisture return, typically you need, if you want, significant severe weather, you need very moist air in the lower levels to help kind of give that uplift into the storms and kind of act as the fuel for those thunderstorms. I think our dew points might just be a little bit too low for that, which is good news for us. We don't want to see any severe weather. But you also notice up towards the Carolinas, they'll also have a little bit of a surge of moisture. And I think the main wave of energy could be headed up that way as well. So they could see the worst of the storm. So I'll break that down here in just a second. But that's just kind of one thing we often look at. How much moisture content do you have available for some of those storms? I mentioned the wind shear as well. Winds aloft, Andy's favorite word, aloft. Anywhere from about 1,000 to 5,000 feet, going to be cranking out at 40 to 50 knots. So some very strong winds aloft. That'll help to tilt those updrafts. So supercell thunderstorms are possible. And also just kind of give some rotation in the air as well. The wind shear vertically. So you might have a 10 mile per hour knot wind at the surface, but you go up 1,000 feet and then you get, a 20 knot mile per hour wind. Another 1,000 feet, you get a 40 knot mile per hour or a 40 knot wind. So with that, you often kind of get this rotation of air. The updrafts could create some spin within mesocyclones. And that's how you kind of get the tornado threat. I know that probably wasn't the clearest way to describe it, but nonetheless, a major severe weather risk out there. Straight line winds going to be a primary concern, as will a tornado risk for folks across the Mississippi River Valley. Now, as we shift towards Wednesday, as the front moves toward us, we are still in this slight risk area. So a 15% coverage area for severe weather. This includes all of our southeast Georgia counties. So pretty much from the state line, the Georgia-Florida line, northward, everyone is included in that slight risk category. By the time we get to early next week, I expect almost the entire First Coast to be in some level of risk for severe weather. But I do think kind of the main shortwave energy that can often spur on some of these storms will likely head a little bit further northward than where we are at here on the First Coast, which is good news. And you're going to notice that here. So look where those bright yellows and red and orange colors are initially across the middle part of the country. But as we head towards Wednesday, you notice, we do have some green and yellow kind of right over Jacksonville on the First Coast. But it looks like the main wave of energy continuing its way up through the Carolinas, Virginia, and really the Delmarva portion of the country. So because of that, yes, I do think we will see some storms, but how severe they will be will very much be dictated by, one, where that kind of main wave of energy goes, and also how much heating do we get earlier on the day. Typically, if you have a lot of sunshine before these fronts roll on in, that kind of churns up the atmosphere a little bit more. It gives a lot of extra lift to some of those updrafts. You can get some stronger storms in that sense. Whereas if you have a little bit more cloud cover, especially during, the late morning, early afternoon hours before the front arrives, so a little bit more cloud cover, that could limit some of the daytime heating. Temperatures wouldn't be nearly as high. Or if you just get some prefrontal showers, which can often happen in these events, where if you just get a little bit of light rain, it kind of just stabilizes some portions of that area. Wouldn't give nearly as much lift to some of those thunderstorms. So there is a lot of different factors that will be rolled into one and kind of, packaged up into this gift that we have on our way next Wednesday. So we're still about 5-6 days out. So a lot will change between now and then. So I urge you to just stay tuned to First Coast News and FCN Plus here, and we'll continue to keep you updated through the weekend and into next week. But big takeaway is really get out, put on some sunscreen, enjoy the sunshine, the warm weather this evening and tomorrow. A little bit cooler on Sunday and Monday, but still plenty of sunshine to get out there and enjoy. And then Tuesday's when you'll notice a breezy southeast wind starting to pick up, a little uptick in the moisture as well. And then we'll wait for those storms, or at least rain, potentially some storms, to roll on in next Wednesday. So that's all I've got for you. I'm a one-man band today. Tim is off, and the rest of the weather team is off here now as well. So enjoy the rest of your Friday evening. Wish you the best of luck if you are running the Gate River Run tomorrow. And as always, take care.